Hey, what's up, folks? Followers of the Grail of the Serpent. This is your favorite, absolute favorite sorcerer, Aurelius Sopax. How's it going, folks? I'm here on a walk on Good Friday, and I just wanted to share some thoughts about the terms sorcerer and magician, because that's what I got asked rather recently. And I want to give you my rationale behind that. And as I just did in the intro, I prefer to call myself a sorcerer. And I'll tell you why. See, a sorcerer... Hold on, there's a truck driving by. See, I believe, it is my personal belief, that magic or witchcraft is very much connected to survival. In fact, the oldest form of witchcraft that we know of in anthropological findings is hunting magic. Okay, magic in order to increase the amount of animals hunted. All right, and what's that connected to? Of course, survival. This is long before something like Hermeticism or high magic came around. Okay, all of these intellectualizations and different systems that were supposed to give people a path to ascension, all of that came much later, you see. And I think at the core, the real power behind magic that works is survival mechanisms. Okay, I believe that magic, witchcraft, is an extension of our survival mechanism. Why? Because in these situations we have an easier time getting rid of the ego filter that allows us then, and removing that ego filter allows us direct access to the creative power in the instinctual subconscious. So I prefer the word sorcerer. Am I a magician? Of course I'm a magician. Do I practice high magic? Of course I do that. You see what I mean? But that's why I say sorcerer. Okay? So that's my answer. On the other hand, what? And I know a lot of you guys are beginners, and you might ask yourself, and I get that question a lot, actually. How do I live in the society? How do I live in this society knowing that witchcraft is a real thing? And then, I practice these things in secret at home, and then, I don't know, I gotta pretend that I'm a normal person at the office, right? Well, look, man, when you look at Western society, actually most Eastern societies too these days, okay? I just know of a few societies where witchcraft or magicians are not vilified. But what I'm saying is, in most cultures, and in our culture, what we live in, the sorcerer or the magician is vilified. It's a villain. All right? Look at pop culture. Look at Hollywood. Look at all these, even Disney movies. Tell me one magician that is that is portrayed nicely. Okay? Well, there might be the occasional one, but generally speaking, I'm sure you can agree, generally speaking, magicians are villains, okay? They're considered, outsiders that don't want to bow to any worldly authority and do whatever the fuck they want, At midnight, after midnight, they call up creatures from the other side to help them topple a kingdom, or to destroy their enemy. Well, oftentimes that's true. Yeah, but look, most magic is actually beneficial to the self as well as to the environment, because when you take care of yourself, you can take better care of the environment. Right? So, but the public image is, of course, negative. Okay, so when you decide to get on this path, when you decide to really make this your life's purpose and mission, meaning witchcraft, you have to be aware that most people will be afraid of you. Most people will hate you. Most people will vilify you, and that is fine. Now, you know, is it worth it? Of course it is, 100%. But it is not about the necessarily the benefits that you get from it, meaning the whatever, the material benefits. That's not what it is about, because there are other ways to get the material benefits, you know, other than magic. So that cannot be the motivation. See, Carlos Castaneda, pretty famous author, and I'm not a big fan of that guy, but you know, there was something he said, asked the question why he practices that stuff, or why he would do that, and he said, well, because there's no other way to live. You see, so how do you know if magic is the right path for you? How do you know that you should become I call it sorcerer, other people would call it magicians, you know, if they're, you know, most of those guys, okay, don't even get me started. It's not that they don't practice anything. They just read books and masturbate. That's what they do. You know, stand there with the dick in the hand, or sit there with the dick in the hand, and it's just bullshit. But what I'm saying is, if you actually want to make this a core part of your life, you should answer that question similarly, because there is no other way to live. Because there is no other way to live. Think about that. Okay, this is not something that you should do if you're half-assed, if you want to stay at the surface of the phenomena. No, look, magic requires that you dive deep into your own subconscious and then into the collective unconscious. And as you do that, you will experience things that are often terrifying. You know, any transformation is not pleasant, okay? Get out of here. What transformation is really a pleasant experience? There is none. Okay, so I hope you can still hear me with this fucking wind. I'm trying to avoid it, but it's not working. Anyways, what I'm telling you, it is worth it, absolutely. It is worth it. And for me, personally, it is the only way to live. There is nothing better, more important than this, you know? But you gotta answer that question honestly. And you gotta be aware of the sacrifices that you're gonna make, because you will make sacrifices, okay? Look at me, man. I wear these tattoos with occult symbols. I speak of witchcraft. I make it, you know, I'm open about it. I'm public about it. Do you know how many people are afraid of me? Do you know how many people call me you know, Satan worshiper or whatever the fuck, you know? And believe it or not, even in 2021, Christianity has a strong grip on people. They will hate you. They will vilify you. If you can live with that, good. If not, if you're, let's say, more socially inclined and you can't stand the idea of people not liking you, this is not a path for you. Yeah. Always think about this. If you can't deal with opposition in the physical world, forget about trying to command a demon or something like that. You know? It's the funniest thing, man. People keep talking about commanding other people through their spells. You know, I impose my will on this other person through a ritual. And you know, whatever. I'm capable of commanding this spirit and that spirit, but at the same time, they're not capable of commanding what goes in their mouth. And I see that by looking at their bodies, man. Seriously. Also, if you can't deal with the truth, magic might also not be for you. You understand? So, well, man, I really digress here. But what I'm talking about is, see, the definition of magician and sorcerer are the ones that I gave you. The magician is a sorcerer that is focused on high magic, okay? High magic would be the refinement of your soul, and that's good, that's fine, you should do that. But you cannot be a magician without being a sorcerer, okay? And a sorcerer is somebody that uses that for physical, material activity, results, and more, okay? And remember the origins of this craft. Your ancestors were not concerned with, you know, inflating their egos or, I don't know, becoming enlightened for the most part. It was about survival. It was about finding and connecting will with natural forces in order to survive. You see? And once you take on that mindset, once you become the hunter again, once you become that being that is connected to its survival instincts, this is when magical power is going to flow through you. Okay? You see? This is also something I see a lot, you know? Like people that apparently have grown up in very cozy environments. You know, they got such a, I don't know, they're so delusional about what nature is about. Okay? They eat meat, but they don't understand where that shit is coming from, right? So what they do is they live in a world that is made of, I don't know, fluffy bunnies and I don't know, pink clouds or something like that. It's ridiculous, okay? This world is a rough place. This world is often a horrible place. This world is often a violent place. This is just the world, okay? And if you live in some sort of a country where you don't have to experience that, you know, grew up in circumstances where you never had to experience violence, like, good for you. But believe me that you're delusional, okay? And it's best to change that, to learn and to accept your nature. Once you can accept your nature, you will be able to deal with nature. And this is where the forces that we work with are lurking. Okay, so this is just you know, a couple of thoughts, a couple of ideas about this question that I get all the time. Frank, why do you call yourself a sorcerer and not a magician? Well, this is my answer. I could say more, but I'll leave it at that. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, this weekend, on the 2nd and 3rd of April, there is a seminar on lucid dreaming and manifestation. You can still sign up for it. We have, I think right now we're at 32 attendees, but there's still a spot for you if you sign up now. Okay, the link to sign up is below this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.